I'm me. I'm not trying to be nothing I'm not. I'm going to tell you no. I'm not going to sugarcoat no shit to please you or no shit like that. I'm going to be honest with you, and I think that's the most thing that I got the love for. I heard about it in elementary school. And in the 5th grade, I moved to San Diego with my grandparents for a year while my parents moved to Palm Springs. And I came back in the 8th grade in, 94? I think it was, 94, yeah. And I had to do the 8th grade again out here. So my second time doing 8th grade, I moved back home, and I did it in Santa Monica.
Right.
And that's when I heard about some of my older homies and shit again, because they went to the north side of the city, and like Halloween is where the north side is all the rich people, and they went up there and terrorized the north side. And so I was hearing about that. That was like the first time I really heard about them like that since I moved back.
Right.
Yeah, so like, I mean, you know, like I said, we all grew up together, so we all play sports. And I was in high school because my birthday is November.
Right.
So, and like I said, I did 8th grade twice. And so I was 18 in November in high school, you know. So while we're still going to high school and shit,
right.
I had gotten in trouble and I had to go to the county. I had missed some court dates, and the judge was like, yo, you got to go to the county and go sit until we get this shit done, you know. So I had to go sit in the county for maybe 2 months, something like that. But I wasn't gangbanging. I was still just regular kid in high school, but 18. When I got out the county and went back to school to finish, that's when all the racial shit started really happening. I had a homie from Hoover, from 94 Hoover, named Peanut, and he had got into it with some of the essays out here. They had this hood, and he had got into it with them. So they went and took their fades. Boom, he beat the dude up. Then the dude's cousin came. You know how the essays are. Oh, you beat my cousin up. We got to get down. He beat him up, and then his hands were all fucked up. So they brought another essay who was a big dude. My homie Peanut's a little guy. He's not a big dude, but he's got a heart of a lion.
Right.
You know? But he's like, man, my hands are fucked up, bro. I can't fight you. Like, you're gonna have to fight one of my homies, you know. So they're like, yeah, whatever. So he's like, you gotta fight, you know, Ghost. So I'm telling the essay like, hey, homie, after we get in right now, there's no beef or no problems. Like, I'm just taking his fade for him because his hands are fucked up. So the essay's like, yeah, no problem. So, you know, we square it, we lock up, boom, I knocked him out bad, knock him out. You know, just one punched him bad. And that's when it all started to unravel. You know, they caught me slipping one time, stabbed me a gang of times, and then, I mean, but they came and stabbed me. They were like, you know, maybe 15 deep. So they hopped out. I was with my homies from high school, not my homies from my hood. And the essays hopped out, like, oh, what's up? You know, you knocked out the homie, da-da-da-da-da. I had a knife in my hand. And a stick that I was whittling into it like a spear. So I had a knife and I had a spear. They hopped out, and I threw it down and was like, what, y'all want to get down? What's happening? And they picked up the knife. So I seen them pick up the knife. I look back at the homies, you know, I look back at my friends from high school, because there's a difference. My friends are my friends. My homies are from my hood, right? So I look back at my friends who don't bang, and they're looking at me like, you're on your own. So I broke. I break. Jump over a fence. I break. There's like 15. They're chasing me. But then there was like 3 more on top of the hill. I couldn't get away, so I just turned around. We were just going at it, you know? So they're stabbing me and shit, all that. I went to the hospital. Boom. They cleaned me up. I'm back on the block that night, you know? From there on out, it was just kind of, what are you going to do? Are you going to take care of business or what? You can't.
Right.
Like, what am I going to do? So I made the choice, you know. The only people that were with the movement was my homies from my hood. So, you know, they're my friends, man. They begged me to be from the hood. Like, I didn't get put on or nothing. I was already out there doing shit. already before a lot of homies were. Like 16, I was still already carrying burners and, you know, serving dope and doing all that, you know. I mean, it's a very wealthy city, you know. In outside of the Pico neighborhood is everywhere else is $1 million homes everywhere, so it's very affluent, and you just wouldn't expect it. It's by the beach. You just wouldn't expect it like that. But oh, bro, you're from Santa Monica, and I love that shit because you automatically underestimated me.
Right.
You automatically underestimated me. Like, it matters if I'm from Santa Monica or not, or wherever, to hurt you. They got hoods in Alaska. It makes no difference. It's unreal.
When you were growing up, did you ever hear about a celebrity chilling in the hood?
Oh yeah, Tupac be in the hood. What's the dude's name? Bud Bundy from Married with Children.
The son.
Hood. Yeah, he be in the hood smoking weed and shit, like big stoner.
When Tupac was out there, was he just vibing?
Tupac came and smoked a blunt on, I believe, 19th Street with the older homies. He came out for a concert or some shit and somehow ended up somebody meeting him or knowing him, and he smoked a blunt with the homies. Nipsey Hussle, before he passed, he just bought something or was renting something right in Santa Monica.
Right.
And he'd be at the hood store all the time on 20th. You know? And then the older homies like, you know, Rick James, all that shit, they would be out here buying dope. Shit. You know? But anyone else who comes out from, you know, wherever, Compton, South Central, like, they're not hanging out in the hood. Right. They're hanging out at the pier or at the tourist attractions. Like, they're not walking down 20th and Pico like, oh, I'm from Watts. Like, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like, they're not walking down Pico with their shirts off and, like, you know, like, deep as fuck, or, like, motherfuckers are, do the Venice shorelines beat up everybody at the Venice boardwalk? No, it doesn't work that way. That shit doesn't happen. Like, they're not in the hood disrespecting nobody. Like, they should be able to come out here and be able to spend money and do all that shit. Like, yeah, we're a black gang. We don't get along with no essays. Like, other black gangs should be allowed to come out here and hang out and chill. Like, shit, you know? But we don't have to do shit out here. We can go follow motherfuckers. We can go follow the essays to L.A. We can go out to L.A. and go terrorize L.A., and they would never even know who hit them. Like, L.A. is like a fucking playground for us. We get to go leave Santa Monica and go to Compton and South Central and go do whatever the fuck we want to, and then come back to the hood and not have to worry about nothing. Like, what the fuck are they going to do to us? Come retaliate in Santa Monica? You're going to get cracked. If you don't know this motherfucker, you're going to get cracked. So we go to L.A. and just go have a field day.
Well, I was going to say, did you ever go out there?
Hell yeah. We go out there all the time. We used to get, you know, right there on, we fuck with the 5-1 Troubles. We get wet. We go get Sherm from them, from the Phi Deuce Hoovers all the time. Man, hell yeah, we be all over L.A. Watts all the time with snow, you know.
Hey, did you get shit out there?
I've never, ever, ever in my life been clowned for being a white dude. It's always been respect. You know, if you're not too extra, you just, you know, you're not disrespectful. You don't have to say much, man. Motherfuckers know energy. You know, they feel energy. You know, so I've always had good luck with that. You know, I believe African Americans trip on you when you start saying weird shit like using the M-word, or, you know, just being careless and extra and too comfortable. Like, right. I've never been too comfortable anywhere I've been, you know. But, like, when I meet other white dudes, like, for me it's respect, because I know what you semi have been through, and I know what you're going to go through, so it's respect. But at the same time, for the majority of the white dudes I meet, they're usually a little extra'd out.
But I don't know how common it is, but it seems relatively common for some circumstances. How common was it to have someone bang the hood who didn't even grow up there?
It's common. It is common, yeah, for sure. There's some motherfuckers that, like, they'll come out to the high school, you know, and they'll go to high school because maybe their parents work in the hood. So they'll go to high school out here, and we end up meeting them and fucking with them. But to be honest, like, they don't last. They don't stick around. Like, they're not from out here.
Right.
So they just don't stick around. Like, the motherfuckers who really hang around are the ones who are really from out here and really just didn't have nowhere else to go. Like, we don't have nowhere to go. We don't have nowhere to go hide, or, like, they just come out here, do some shit to the essays, and then, like, motherfuckers are just left out here to deal with it.
By the time you started banging, had you already came across White Lokes before you joined, whether it was graveyard or anything else?
Yes, but not like Snow. You know, Snow was already banging Watts when I was like 7th, 8th grade. He's a little older than me, so he was already banging Watts. But like, yeah, I done ran across a few. But like from my hood, no. As far as I knew, I was the only white boy, and then, you know, some of my bigger homies would be like, oh, no, baby criminal and little lazy. But, yeah, he's got to be probably 50. Yeah, he went to YA for a couple years, and then, like, he got out, like, maybe 92, 93, and they never heard from him again. You know, I think maybe some homies might, you know, have talked to him since that time, but he ain't never been around like that. Bro, I ain't never seen him. I've been from my hood for, 25 years almost, 23 years, something like that. Like, I ain't never seen him. I ain't never met him. There's younger homies, a dude named Woody and a dude named Goldie, but yeah, they don't be around, or they don't be in the hood at all. Like, they don't be around. Matter of fact, we just lost another homie from my hood, a white dude. His name was Red. He was a redhead dude, a white dude, but he just passed away.
Your generation?
Yeah, my generation.
Wow.
Grew up, like, lived with him grew up together, like, you know, since like, shit, I knew him since elementary school, matter of fact. But yeah, he just passed away. I met a dude from Harlem. I believe his name was Diamond. Okay. I'm not sure, a white dude. I don't want to say his real name, you know, but I believe his name was Diamond. Matter of fact, I done seen a dude named, an Arab dude named Camel Boy from Harlem. They used to call him C-Boy, a Persian dude, I think. I think he was Persian.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Camel Boy, straight up C-Boy from Harlem. I don't know if it's real, but he would bang that shit. He was from Harlem. Ninja Nut, Free Ninja Nut from Shoreline. Shoreline. Who else?
He's doing his martial arts too, man.
Yeah, he's in there. You know, I actually holler at him a lot. We speak a lot when we can. So he hits me up. Who else? You know, the dude No Good from Blasting Fools. And then they had another white boy too, but I don't remember his name. I heard about a midget blood. A midget white blood.
From Bounties?
From Bounty Hunter. I swear to God, they say he used to be hopping out the trunk of the car, busting on people and shit. I don't know if it's true, but man, it's a great story. I mean, it's tough because, right, like the lifestyle is so intriguing, right? Like, it's just so intriguing, and I don't want to disrespect anybody from any other hood outside of LA who's a Blooder and Crip, because I don't want to talk bad like they're not. If I'm from Santa Monica, I could say, oh yeah, like, motherfuckers from Santa Monica for real. There's real motherfuckers everywhere. Right. So I would just have to give all the respect in the world to the ones that are trying to do it at least right or honorable, you know.
There's been Crip hoods in San Diego and Sacramento since the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the San Diego Crip hoods, they hold it down. The Blood hoods, they hold it down, man. They're not, you know, they put their hoods on the map and are solid.
What was the first time you came across someone? They were like, hey, I'm from San Diego, I'm from Stockton.
Oh, Palm Springs.
Were they Gateway?
The Gateways, yeah.
Okay, well, how'd that go? Like, tell me that story.
I had moved out to Palm Springs to go to continuation school. Right. So I lived out there for like a year, and you know, like I said, I play sports and basketball, so I'm really mostly black people. So, you know, I tend to go with black people more, and it's just their hood. So when you go to the park after school to smoke a blunt, or like we're at 17, 16, 17, we're at the Boys and Girls Club in Palm Springs playing for the traveling team. So like motherfuckers would smoke weed in the park and shit, and you run into somebody from Train 9 Indio. My boy Chris was from there, and then the Gateway. But the Gateway, the motherfuckers, they be doing shit too out there though. They really be doing shit too. You think of Palm Springs, you think of old people or gay people.
Right. Well, I didn't want to hear.
Fuck it. We're political. We're not politically correct. I'm good, so fuck.
I'm assuming Gateway was already, a thing back when.
Yeah. Oh,
so were you taken back, or?
Oh, I was tripping, and then going out there to they live on the north side of Palm Springs. So, like, going to their hood, too, is, like, it's grimy out there. They live in houses and shit, but it's the desert. It's grimy, like, and they really, Las Vegas Boulevard is their, like, hood,
for you, it sounded way more beyond the Crip title. It was more so just about your city, your boys.
That's exactly what it was. Like, for me, like, I'm not dumb. I understand if I go to the pen, there's going to be flack for hurting black people. Like, how can I commit tribalism against other black gangs and then say, oh, I love black people, I love my friends? No, it didn't work that way. So for me, we have beef in our hood. I have no business getting into with any other black gang when I have beef with essays in our hood. I have no business. So I really never politic like that. I really didn't give a fuck about no other black gang members like that. Like I really don't, to keep it real with you, bro, I really don't fuck with gang members like that at all. I'm a gang member. I'm not fucking with no gang members. I'm not catching no beef for someone else's hood. I have a hood, and we have enemies in our hood. I don't care about the other shit.
Your interview with Kev Mack, though, was a little bit controversial because you said you ran with the Woods. Now, do you mind touching on that a little more for those who can't walk in your shoes and understand why you did run with the Woods?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I was 18 in high school still, so I wasn't gangbanging like that. So when I went to the county, I was still in high school. I wasn't cripping. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Right.
Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, my homies were already begging me, like, oh, yeah, homies want you to be from the hood. Like, I had dismissed it so many times, like, and then the thing about the county, too, like, a lot of motherfuckers are like, oh, well, now is it different? First of all, in Santa Monica, when you get, in that time, right, when you get cracked or you get arrested, you go to Santa Monica, and they had courts in Santa Monica. So I would never have to deal with the L.A. judge at all. Right. I would never have to deal with county or nothing. We go straight to Santa Monica, So that's why I never had to go through the county and all that bullshit as a Crip, right? Because I didn't have to go to the county. I had to go to Santa Monica if I did some shit. If I got caught, whatever, robbing somebody or a home invasion, whatever it is.
Right.
I'm going to Santa Monica. I'm not going to L.A. County. There's a huge difference, right? They stopped that in like 2007, 2008. Right? Then you started going, you getting arrested in Santa Monica, and then you get bused to LAX, right? So,
yeah. So you weren't even a Crip then.
I wasn't a Crip. I wasn't gangbanging. I wasn't a Crip. Like,
did you see that feedback at all?
I mean, I saw. It's just a question. Oh, I would see some of the comments like, oh, well, so and so said he was in the county and ran wood, and it don't make no sense. But it don't have to make sense. Motherfuckers are nobody to me in my life. My homeboys know who I am. My homeboys know what I've been through and everything. So I don't give a fuck what nobody else said. Right? Like, I was 18 years old, still in high school, not gangbanging. Why would I go with the blacks if I'm not a black or a Crip? Makes no sense. That's not the way the politics in L.A. works.
No, I know, but when you was chilling with the Woods in county, weren't you like, I can't even relate to these motherfuckers?
I mean, yes and no. Like yes and no, because, like, I still was the MAC rep for the Woods, so I could talk to anybody I wanted. So I could still converse with blacks. It's not like I can't, and I still converse with the essays. I get along with anybody, so that wasn't an issue for me. Plus, the blacks already respected me because I was a fresh 18 in the county as a MAC rep. So they were already like, oh, respect.
So how'd you become a MAC rep being so young?
They were all pillheads. All the white boys in there were all fucking kicking heroin, or they were popping pills on drugs, Or there were. It wasn't like there was a gang of thorough dudes. So when I can't, like, man, I'm looking around like shit. I can't follow these guys. What am I gonna do? Follow these fucking idiots? Like, oh, I have to have control, or else I'm gonna get in a wreck.
Question: Where are these white? Are they from like the valley?
They're usually from like Apple Valley or up north. Like, yeah, Apple Valley, Orange County. A lot of racists in Orange County and shit. One skinhead I met was from Paramount.
Damn.
Yeah. and he wasn't even like, the dude wasn't even racist. Like, he just, like, it's really weird. It was really weird. The dude wasn't racist and was actually, like, was a trustee with one of the other black dudes in our dorm. And so they would sit for hours next to each other and talk.
He was allowed to?
Well, yeah, there's times where you could chop it up with other races and shit, but you can't be intermingling and being all, you know, best friends sharing food and trading shit. You can't do, but you could have a conversation with another man. You know, I mean, even in the mafia and shit, that motherfuckers sit down and talk to each other. Like, you have to communicate with people at some point, you know? Right? Like, I'm not racist. That doesn't mean, just because I went with the Woods doesn't mean I'm racist, or you go with your people. My people were the Woods.
Is the Woods considered a racist gang in LA, or is it just considered, well, that's what the white boys do?
The Wood is just a white boys. That's just what you call the white boys. Now, there's factions inside of that, skinheads and Nazis and, yeah, all that shit, you know, is within it, but that's not you got to go with your people. When you hit the dorm, you're lined up with every race, right? For me, this is my experience. You're lined up with every race. They pop the door on the dorm, and you walk in, and there's motherfuckers in the beginning watching TV. When you come in, they see you. Oh, you're a white boy. You go with the Woods. They don't ask you. They tell you where you're gonna go. Right now, if I'm Crippin' and I walk in, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're a white boy. You go." Hell no, I'm not no Wood. I'm a Crip. I go with the Crip, and that's where it starts getting weird, because now we got an issue in the dorm. There's a white Crip in the dorm. Yeah, what are the blacks going to do? The whites don't like it. The essays don't like it. How are we going to sleep? You know, everybody got to sleep with their heads facing, you know, whatever side the enemy is. It gets crazy. It gets really weird and political. And the county we talked about is way worse. There's more rules in the penitentiary from what I understand. There's more rules, and it's more militant. So I have another white homie, Snowman from 117th and Crochus. When he got out the pen, he was with me tough. So, you know, he also put me up on game, like, hey, homie, you know, like, it's hard. It's not as hard as I'm sure, like, man, Snow Rock and them dudes had, because they were in the 80s, and it was really, like, racial.
But for the record, you and the homie made it through.
Survivors. You know?
All right.
But I seen somebody else did a video. I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody else did a video, and they took a clip from the video I did on Hard Intentions, and I think it's called Rare Breed.
Yeah. I seen that. I forgot what channel that was, and it was all the white Crips and Bloods
that have.
Yeah, man, they really for sure paved the way, but I don't think it's as rough now. Like, you still got to get it. You know, the white boys want you, the essays want you, and there's going to be some blacks that aren't with that shit either. There's going to be some dudes that are really like, nah, I'm not fucking with this white boy. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing it. But then there's those ones on the other side who are going to be like, homie, check this out. I'm going to die for this white boy if you want to trip, you know. Yeah. And you only need one of those guys to change everything. I'm not going to sit here, I can't sit here and act like as if I know what would happen. I don't know what would happen, but I could tell you that my neighborhood is tattooed all over my body from head to toe. There's no hiding it in jail. Like, I can't go with the Woods and be like, oh, bro, it's tattooed all over my body from head to toe.
And that would have been a hell of a ride for you.
Yeah, man, like, it would have been even worse. Like, lies start happening, you know, when people start lying, weird shit starts happening. So there's no way I could get out of it. This shit is literally tattooed everywhere all over my body. And you could read, you know where I'm from. I'm a Crip. So I'm still white, but when they ask you who do you go, I go with the Crips. take me with the Crips.
Yeah.
So if that's blacks, then I go with the blacks. That's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I come from a good family, man. Like, you know, I have a good family. My mom was a drug addict, you know, and so she wasn't around like that. But for the most part, like her parents, my grandparents, on both sides of my mom and dad, man, they're just incredible people. Like, incredible. I come from a good family. I can't, as much as I would love to blame the bad shit on mom and all that, like at the end of the day, we came from a good family. I just made a choice to just be with it. Like, I'm older, man. I'm 41, so I really I'm not like active like that. Like, I'm not trying to be, you know, hurting people. I have kids. I have a family, but you know, I'm always gonna be where I'm from. I'm never gonna not say I'm not from where I'm from, you know, and I'm always gonna take care of my people because it's family. It's all family. Like, I wasn't. Like, you know, I'm not going to say, I'm not the toughest dude. I'm not like, you know, but I'm not going to run. I'm not going to leave my homies, you know, and I'm going to take care of my business like I'm supposed to as a man. If I didn't have the history and the upbringing that I have, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I love who I am today. I love the people I'm around. I love the environment I have. And for all the bad shit that's happened and all the time I've lost doing this shit, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't want to be anybody different, and I feel like we just grow more and more, you know? So I needed that to be able to make me who I am, to be able to help people. Yeah, my name is Ghost Capone. I'm from West Side Santa Monica Graveyard Gangster Crip.